our next destination is Fort Clatsop, which is where Lewis and Clark came, I believe. So we're gonna go through the visitor center and then check this place out. So this is a little map of the places, and we're trying to get here to the fort site. And we are right here. This building is this one right here. So I have to get out from behind it and go this way into here. Here's this 215 years ago today. That's where the Lewis and Clark trail and where they went.
Till you turn into a sixth grader, which will be at the end of August next year.
That's cool.
Okay? Sound like a good deal?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so we were able to get in for free because Sophie's a fifth grader, and apparently fifth graders are able to bring their parents for free, and our little one didn't charge for her anyway, so that is actually pretty cool. So we're gonna, otherwise it would have been I think $10 a person. So we're gonna go into the exhibit real quick first and check that out. So while we wait, we're gonna go here to the gift shop and just look around at all the things that they have here. Got a couple things here. A traveler's journal here. That looks like an old time journal. Got some feather pens, or they're called goose quill pens. That's Lewis and Clark right here. They got this like little metal coins here that you could buy. Spyglass. Got a lot of cool stuff here that if you were really into history, you would definitely love this store. American flag. They even got some masks here for Fort Clatsop, which is where we are right now. Some books of Lewis and Clark if you want to learn more about the history of what they went through, what they did. We have a bunch of books here about the expedition here, the men of the Lewis and Clark expedition. And this is for like, you know, little kids. You're going to get them coloring books and stuff like that. And while they still learn about Lewis and Clark, you could do that here. All right, we're going to head out into the exhibit now. We're going to be stepping into the past. Stepping on into here. There's Thomas Jefferson right here. And then that's Lewis and Clark. In 1802, Jefferson chose Meriwether Lewis, a fellow Virginian and an Army officer, as his private secretary. Lewis, intelligent and experienced in frontier life, was eager to explore the West. The president gained congregational support for an expedition to explore the lands beyond the Mississippi River. With Jefferson's approval, Lewis invited his friend William Clark to join the voyage of discovery to the Western Ocean. Clark's adventurous nature, interest, and frontier military background had prepared him well to be co-leader of the expedition. Here's the guys, Lewis and Clark. And here's like a beaver trap that they used to use back then. And that's how they used to make the fur, like this fur hat. What is this thing? It's like a trumpet right here. And then this is what they used to use to make fires. And these are the shoes that they used to use. Right here you got like, that was the journals they used to use back then, and it kind of looks like it's made probably out of an animal or something. And then here we have, is it a beaver? Got a statue here, so there Lewis and Clark and probably one of his explorers. Also a dog right here, and they are writing something. There's some axes that they used to use back in the day, all these tools. Oh, violin with the guns, the rifles here. Long rifles. Look at that little one though. Little gun. This is the salt maker's camp. With the means we have of boiling the salt water, we find it a very tedious operation, that of making salt. Notwithstanding, we keep the kettles boiling day and night. Lewis, February 3rd, 1806. It's crazy. There's like a big canoe that they used to use. See a picture kind of right there. This is what they used to use to go up and down the river. They didn't have no fancy boats and yachts. They had this. All right, we have left the little visitor center. We're gonna start going towards the fort. And man, it's beautiful out here. It's like all woods here. Look at this. Oh, look at that one. You want a picture with her?
No.
We're gonna go into the fort now. I believe that this is where they probably used to stay, the Lewis and Clark and all the explorers here. Check it out. So this is where they used to stay. Let's go right in. It's kind of dark in here. Hopefully the camera does pretty good. Wow. This used to be the beds here. Bunk beds. These were the first bunk beds, guys. No, I don't think they had stairs back then or anything, but this is one of the little forts here.
Did they just go like this? I don't know. They better than they go.
Yeah, they would jump. There's a little table right here in the center. And this is probably with some, like a bonfire or something. They would do like a fire here to keep warm during the winter. This is the door right here. They would just close it. Wow, look at this contraption.
Oh, look. You go like this.
And that's how the lock would,
Right there.
you lift this up, boom.
Ah, it's too dark in here.
That's the little window right there. So there is about probably 6 rooms, 6 little forts here. There's 3 on each side. And it probably looked the same, or mostly the same in each one. Let me go into this one. Oh wow, this was a little bit bigger. And this, I wonder what this was. Maybe a bathroom? Maybe, I'm guessing that something was there before. Okay, one way enter here. Oh yeah, this one's probably the bigger one, and then it has something over here. What was this? Are the animals?
Oh, so if we try to open it, this thing's gonna break.
Probably where they kept the animals here. Yeah. Like, oh, they are heavy. Wow.
Especially in Oregon, it's so cold. I wonder how they did it for like super winter time.
You see those things right there?
Yeah.
Those are like bonfire places. They have like a bonfire in every room. I think that's how they used to get around. But this is not the most comfortable, man. This is how they used to build everything out of wood. The table right here. The beds. I got one more room over here, which is just a one bed. Maybe this is probably for the kids. Just, think going off of that. Little table, little chair. All right. So this is kind of the look. This is how it was, guys. So there's 3 rooms on this side, 3 rooms on this side. And this is where they used to stay. And they have a flag in the middle right there. The doors or the gates here. Crazy, everything was built from wood. Then everything, even the little benches here. So interesting. I gotta say that coming here to Astoria was one of the best decisions that we've made, that I decided to do, because honestly, learning about the history, first with the mansion, and then here with Lewis and Clark expedition and what it took for them to be here and live in these little, houses or little forts. Just learning a lot, man. It just takes you back to like how it used to be back in the day. We live in so much luxury now. It's crazy, like how they used to live 200 years ago. It's so nice out here. I'm glad that we got to do this as a family, that we got to bring the girls so they could learn also about how it used to be back then. Definitely, man, a weekend that we're gonna remember, man, and I'm love it here. If you guys ever come to Oregon, I highly, highly recommend coming here to Astoria, Oregon, and going to all these places where they have a lot to offer, man. There's a lot of history here. There's a lot of history here in Astoria, Oregon, and Oregon in general, but definitely here, specifically here in Astoria, Oregon. If you look around, it's just woods. And then one thing that I didn't show, they have this little thing. That's probably where they got together too and just probably, ate and stuff here. But everything that you see here is built out of wood, and tables here, and then this over here, probably a little get together here. So here it says winter at Fort Clatsop. Here at the end of their westward journey, the 33 members, so there's 33 people that were staying here, of the Corps of Discovery spent 4 rainy months preparing for their return to St. Louis, Missouri. The men built huts to protect themselves and their supplies. They named it Fort Clatsop after the local Clatsop Indians. Nothing remains of the original fort. This 2006 replica is based on William Clark's journal, descriptions, and floor plan. Historians and archaeologists are fairly confident that the original fort was located within yards of this site. Okay, so this is not the original fort. This is a replica, but they're going based on the journal of Lewis Clark, of William Clark, and so they believe it's pretty much accurate here. But this is not the original location, but they do believe it's a couple yards from here. But still, they did a pretty good job with, doing this replica here and just showing us how they used to live. So they got here, and in order for them to survive the winter, because here in Oregon, the winter gets pretty cold, they had to build this to protect their supplies, to protect themselves from the winter. So every room, if you go inside it, as I showed earlier, has like this little bonfire, little fireplace place, because every room needed some heat, and that's how they would get heat. They would make a bonfire here. I do wonder what happened to the original fort though. Like, did it get burned down? Did it get destroyed? And this is a replica of that. We are leaving the fort now. All right, so we're gonna, I think, head this way, guys, into Canoe Landing. So Canoe Landing is 200 yards from here. Beautiful walk though. Oh yeah, look at this. Look at that view. It is coming up right here on the left side. We got this right here, traveling the rivers. The explorers first saw and purchased the canoe near the Dallas Clark Road on October 23rd, 1805. You see those poles in the water right there? The poles or piling are logs from 80-year-old Douglas fir trees. They are a maximum of 60 feet in length and are embedded up to 20 feet into the river bottom. The rows of piling were used during the log sorting and raft making process. Just views upon views here in Astoria. Just a lot of nice little scenery here. The wind is picking up a little bit out of nowhere. Hopefully I'm still good though, in audio wise. But we're gonna go ahead and keep walking this little trail. It's so nice right here. Okay, so we're headed back, I believe, to the car. I think we're done here with Fort Clatsop. Really cool place, man. Really cool that we got to see the forts or a replica of the forts where they stayed, where Lewis and Clark and all the explorers stayed. Yeah, we're headed back to the visitor center first, and then back to the car, and let's see where our next destination is.